You can buy a packet of these flour tortillas for $5, or you can make fresh, soft, chewy flour tortillas all for under $1. You just need like really 4 simple ingredients. And make sure you watch till the end because I'm going to share my favorite breakfast taco recipe that's worth waking up for. So the first thing I'm going to add is, of course, our flour for flour tortillas. I need to scant 2 cups into a bowl. I'm just using all-purpose flour here, nothing fancy. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of salt for flavor and then some baking powder. So the baking powder makes it like fluffy and soft. I like it kind of in between the flat tortillas and like a little bit puffy, but if you guys want it like pretty puffy, like almost like a flatbread, then I'll give you the options written down in the description box below. And then I just give it a mix. Okay, now we incorporate the fat. My fat of preference is actually butter. I just have good old room temperature butter here. I've used coconut oil before where it's not fully melted. Just mix it in with the flour. I've also used vegetable oil. I don't typically like how it comes out. It's just not flexible enough for me. And I found that coconut oil and the butter gives me the flexibility that I like. And then with my fingers, I'm just gonna break it up into the flour until it's nice and sandy. This is almost like making pie dough. Just something about mixing it is just so comforting. But I decided to make my own flour tortillas because number one, food is costing a lot of money these days and my kids go through so many tortillas in a week, Nate too, and I don't know, I just found that it tastes a lot better and fresher, and so why not? It's so easy to make. So I hope you guys, if you guys eat a lot of tortillas or just like whipping it up for taco night, give this recipe a try. Oh, and by the way, if you like tortillas, give this video a thumbs up. So with my hands, I'm just kind of, you know, like the money sign, like money, money, money. Like just do that. This looks good, it's thoroughly mixed. All right, so now I'm just gonna take scalding hot water and mix it in with the flour while whisking it. I like doing it in a few additions so that it hydrates and mixes thoroughly. And then once it's cool enough to handle, just go ahead and knead it with your hands. So you can just knead it for like a minute or 2 just until the dough comes together. It kind of gets a little sticky, but just keep working on it. Scrape up any excess dough around the bowl. Okay, and then at this point, I like to put it on the counter, clean counter of course, and just give it some really good palmful kneads. Is that even a word? Massage until it's smooth as a baby's butt. Okay, now comes the fun part where I just roll it off into little golf ball size. You can definitely eyeball it, but just to make sure that it's the same size throughout, I like to weigh it. And for taco size, I like doing 1 ounce, and then for burrito size, I do 2 ounces. So today we're just gonna do taco size. Good enough. So for this much dough, you can make about 10 burrito size tortillas. And then if you want taco size, you can get anywhere from like 16, depending on how big you roll them out. Another thing that people ask me all the time, since I made this quite often on Instagram stories, I was testing a bunch, was that they asked if you can freeze them, and you definitely can. I wouldn't recommend freezing it as a dough ball like this, but I like to par cook it. I'll show you guys later, but I like to par cook it and then freeze it. And it reheats pretty good. So while this does take a little bit of effort, as you notice, like it's so easy to make and there's not anything weird in the ingredients. Like I use stuff you probably already have in your kitchen and you can have fresh tortillas within a matter of 30 minutes. Sometimes I don't know what those ingredients are on the store-bought flour tortillas, even though they taste good. It's just like, I'm not sure what I'm eating, you know? So I feel a lot better doing this. Trying to stay health conscious. I got 13 in a chef's treat. So now I'll just cover it with a piece of plastic wrap to lock in any of the moisture. And then we're gonna let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes so that it could chill out and relax. Then we're gonna cook it up. So here is my tortilla station, nowhere near as impressive as the ones at Chevy's. The first time I ever saw them hand making it through that machine was awesome. But this is my setup and I'm gonna line the press. I got this at the Latin market and I just put my dough ball that in, cover it with another parchment paper to keep it from sticking, and then I press and clamp. And we get a perfectly round tortilla. Sometimes it doesn't get as flat as I want it, so I have to press it a couple of times. Of course, if you don't have one of these, a rolling pin will do the job too. Perfecto. And then to cook the tortillas off, I crank up the heat on my cast iron, get it like smoking hot, and then we cook each side for about 30 seconds to a minute. It's the coolest thing when you see it starts to bubble, and that's when I know it's almost done and ready to flip. I always get so happy when I see that nice, beautiful char around the edges. This is a sign of a good tortilla. And as you continue stacking and cooking the tortillas, just get a kitchen towel and cover it so the steam keeps it nice and soft. So here's a little sneak peek of our flour tortillas. Soft, flexible, so good. I'm gonna show you how I use them later for breakfast, but before that, let me show you how I freeze and preserve any extra tortillas. The technique and the process is all the same, except for when you cook it off, you just kind of par cook them, put it on each side for, I would say, 10 to 15 seconds. They look kind of translucent still. That way you can freeze them, and then when you need to reheat them, just pull it out of the freezer, defrost, and then cook them as you would here until it's nice and golden and charred. So one of my favorite things to do with a tortilla is to make a breakfast taco, and I've been having a lot of them. It's just like the perfect blanket to hug my eggs in the morning. So I have my soft, well, it was soft, scrambled eggs, a little bit on each side. Then this is something I learned from Korean barbecue, is that cooked kimchi goes so well with eggs. The flavor is more concentrated. You get like a spicy, sour kick. Of course, bacon goes really well with eggs and kimchi, so it's a no-brainer. Avocado adds a nice creaminess, totally optional if you don't have any. Some green onions to garnish. Now, is that a breakfast taco or is that a breakfast taco? I could eat this every single day and not get sick of it. Look at this soft, flexible, chewy tortilla that has like a nice char to it. If you guys like this video, be sure to check out these videos right here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.